Breaking right now, Thomas Markle Jr. has lashed out at his sister in the most brutal interview he has ever given.
This is how it's going down. Meghan, off, all right? There is no other way about it. You will not get within 20 feet of my dad. I can promise you that.
Meghan Markle, as previously having been a quote yacht girl, there have been more revelations going viral from the past. And I want to show you this.
She was a yacht girl. That's right. It's mentioned in the book. Meghan used to entertain as a yacht girl.
My sister forgot where she came from. She traded family for fame, and now she can't even call her own father. That's how Thomas Markle Jr. opens his scathing message to Meghan Markle. And this time, he's not holding back.
Meghan Markle trying to use the US government to step in and stop her own brother and sister having control over her father.
While their 81-year-old dad lies in a California hospital bed after emergency surgery, Meghan's brother is torching her royal halo with gasoline-soaked words. He says the Duchess, who preaches compassion, has turned cold as Buckingham marble, ignoring the man who raised her and the family who once bragged about her every success.
It's really a little bit disturbing, saying that, she doesn't have a family, she doesn't have a father. It's just ridiculous.
To Thomas Jr., Meghan isn't a victim of the tabloids. She's the architect of her own downfall. She ghosted her own blood, he spits, but hugs cameras like they're her new relatives. Clips flash of red carpets, charity speeches, and glittering crowns. Then the harsh contrast, her father's hospital photo, the family's unanswered texts. The message is brutal but simple. The world's most photographed woman couldn't find 5 minutes for her own dad. And Thomas Jr. swears he's done staying silent. People need to know who she really is, he says. Because the yacht rumors, the lies, that's just the beginning. Stay tuned, because what he's about to reveal could make even the palace squirm.
It's no mystery that Meghan pays people to go after anybody who says anything bad about her. One day, all the Sussex squad will be wiped off the face of the planet, period, along with Meghan.
This story is about understanding, not accusation, and every detail shared here is meant to bring context, not conclusion. Thomas Markle Sr. wasn't always the frail man tabloids show today. He was once a proud Emmy-winning lighting director, the guy who quietly paid for Meghan's private school, acting classes, and first headshots when she dreamed of Hollywood lights. But now, that same man lies in a hospital bed, forgotten by the daughter he made sacrifices for.
Is it worth dumping me for the rest of my life? Denying my grandchildren? Is it worth getting rid of her father?
According to Thomas Jr., the betrayal didn't happen overnight. It started the moment Meghan's royal ring slid onto her finger. He says she didn't just change her address, she changed her bloodline. Birthday calls stopped. Emails bounced back. When reporters hounded their dad outside his modest Mexican home, Meghan's team didn't help. They allegedly told him to stay quiet for the brand. Then came the 2018 wedding scandal. Staged photos, a heart attack, and Meghan's father missing his own daughter's royal ceremony. Jr. claims that broke him completely. He says Meghan never looked back.
I believe she had a clear motive for writing family off because it would seemingly justify and perhaps delay the revelation of all of the lies that she had told the royal family.
While her father's health declined with each stroke, she was posing for magazine covers about family values. Thomas Jr. paints it bluntly. She ghosted the man who paid her way to success just because he didn't fit the palace aesthetic. The bitterness in his voice isn't jealousy, it's grief disguised as rage. And now, as their dad fights for recovery, Meghan's silence echoes louder than any royal speech. Jr. calls it cruelty wrapped in couture, but behind that silence lies something darker, a secret Meghan never wanted resurfacing. Because according to her brother, the family drama isn't the story, it's the cover-up.
Stop sending your government officials in to the hospital in the Philippines. Pick up your goddamn mobile phone, call Caroline Graham, you know her number, pass the mobile phone over to Thomas Markle, have a conversation. Anything less than that proves that you're not a human being, which is something that we've known for a long time.
For years, Thomas Markle Jr. watched the circus unfold from the sidelines. Headlines praising Meghan's modern-day fairy tale, interviews calling her the people's Duchess. But behind that royal gloss, he says, was a sister who turned her back on every person who ever stood by her. This isn't his first outburst, it's his final warning shot. Back in 2018, months before the Windsor wedding, Thomas Jr. sent a handwritten letter to Prince Harry that went viral overnight. It's not too late, he wrote. Meghan is not the woman you think she is. At the time, the media dismissed him as jealous, tabloids tabloids mocked his pleas, and Meghan never responded. Yet 6 years later, every line of that letter sounds less like gossip and more like prophecy.
Do you think your sister, Meghan Markle, has ruined Prince Harry?
The answer is yes. I mean, every single interview, every single picture, every place they go, Meghan grabs him. Meghan controls him. Meghan tells him no. Meghan stands in front of him. She controls every single situation like she is the star. And she's turned Prince Harry into a man of non-substance, for her own well-being.
Now, after their father's latest health scare, Thomas Jr. says he's done protecting her image. He claims the palace never silenced him. His own guilt did. I thought she'd come around eventually, he admits, but you can't fix someone who cut her family for clicks. His voice, raw and tired, carries both fury and exhaustion. The sound of someone who's watched fame devour his family one headline at a time. In his new interview, he promises to expose everything Meghan worked to bury. The old friends, the wild stories, the polished lies. He calls it unfinished business, a truth the royal brand can't afford to ignore. But this isn't just another family feud. According to Thomas Jr., what he's about to share will make the world see the Duchess in a completely different light, because what she did before she wore that crown might be the scandal that takes it off.
You look like you're medically induced on all your videos. You look like a fucking psychopath. You look like you're fucking on drugs. You and fucking Harry. You guys are in fucking La La Land. No concept of fucking reality. It's disgusting.
When Thomas Jr. hinted that Meghan's past wasn't what the palace PR machine claimed, the internet went wild. He wasn't talking about red carpets or auditions. He was talking about something far more controversial, the so-called yacht girl whispers that followed Meghan for years, rumors of luxury parties, champagne nights, and mysterious connections that seemed to open doors overnight. Back in the mid-2000s, before Suits and before Harry, Meghan wasn't the glamorous Duchess. She was a struggling actress trying to climb Hollywood's steepest ladder.
And I wonder if Prince Andrew's going to come out and say, hey, Harry, I did your wife quite a few times on yachts before you got her.
But according to her brother, that climb didn't happen through casting calls. It happened on private decks, where cameras weren't allowed and the real power players gathered far from flashing lights. Online sleuths have resurfaced blurry photos, tagging faces that once brushed shoulders with billionaires, royals, and producers. Nothing confirmed, but enough to spark obsession. And the way Thomas Jr. tells it, Meghan's team spent years scrubbing traces of that era before her royal debut. He calls it the deleted chapter of her life, a version of Meghan that doesn't fit the humanitarian fairy tale, the one she built from scratch.
Also, allegedly, Tom Inskip, his friend, warned Harry because Tom Inskip had hired yacht girls a few years back, and one of them yacht girls was Rachel Meghan Markle. This is why Meghan didn't invite Harry's best friend to the wedding, because he knew her, if you know what I mean. He knew her.
Now, with her brother ready to speak publicly, those whispers are echoing louder than ever. And if the names attached to those yachts are even half true, this story might be the royal scandal of the decade. Behind every fairy tale rise, there's usually a hidden hand, and Thomas Jr. insists Meghan's journey was no exception. He claims her sudden access to elite circles wasn't luck, but strategy. Long before she met Harry, Meghan was allegedly networking with producers, media moguls, and influential socialites, the kind of people who could turn an unknown actress into a household name.
John Lefebvre, who's behind the very popular Twitter account GS Elevator, Goldman Sachs Elevator, shared on Twitter that Harry wasn't the first prince that Meghan met. In a tweet on December the 9th, he wrote, "Prince Harry revealed that he met Meghan Markle on Instagram. Amazingly, that's not the first prince she met online. All the Saudis flew to France and Dubai as a yacht companion. He's just the dope who tried to turn her into a housewife."
Just to suffer.
Thomas Jr. says those early relationships paved the road to royalty. A few key introductions here, a private dinner there. Soon Meghan was orbiting names tied to power, wealth, and global influence. To the public, she was the charming girl next door. Behind the scenes, she was crafting her own ascension with surgical precision. Online theorists have even traced photos from the late 2000s, spotting her at the same events as figures who'd later appear in royal gossip columns.
Many of you have seen this picture already. You see that there's Meghan with her Cajuna hat?
Coincidence? Maybe, but Thomas Jr. doesn't think so. She knew how to play the room, he says, and she never played it twice the same way. That, he claims, is Meghan's true genius, not acting, but adaptation. The ability to blend into every environment until she's running it. Still, that power comes with consequences. Every person she stepped over now seems ready to talk, and not all of them are friends. Because according to her brother, Meghan's biggest mistake wasn't the secrets she kept, it's the people who helped her keep them. When the cameras stopped flashing and the royal glow began to fade, the cracks cracks in Meghan's empire started to show. Her Hollywood comeback was supposed to be unstoppable. Netflix documentaries, Spotify deals, global speaking tours. But instead of applause, the world gave her side-eye. Projects got canceled, partnerships dissolved, and the word overexposed became her new title.
I don't think anybody at Netflix could have seen the show before it went out, because it's not entertainment, it's not edifying in any way. It's really, really bizarre.
Insiders whispered that the Duchess had become too difficult to work with, while producers quietly backed away from the brand they once chased. The public, once enchanted by her underdog story, grew tired of the constant rebranding. Humanitarian one month, Hollywood power couple the next. The sympathy act had worn thin. Thomas Jr. didn't gloat. He simply pointed out the irony. She cut off her real family to build a perfect one, and lost both, he said. That single line went viral, hitting harder than any tabloid headline. To him, Meghan's fall wasn't fate, it was karma. Behind the glossy smiles and polished PR, her empire was quietly shrinking. Rumors of financial pressure surfaced, alongside talk of Harry's growing frustration. The fairy tale image had cracked, and once again, Thomas Jr. was there to remind the world that he'd warned everyone years ago. Still, he insists the worst part isn't the collapse, it's the truth that might come next. Because if the whispers about what Meghan's hiding are real, this downfall could just be the warm-up.
Now, after this point, when you've had 7 years knowing my father's phone number, it hasn't changed for 15 years. It's the same phone number. You have not reached out. You have not texted. You have not called.
Just when everyone thought the drama had peaked, Thomas Jr. dropped the line that sent royal watchers into a frenzy. "I've got things Meghan never wanted the world to see." That single sentence exploded across social media like wildfire. Within hours, hashtags about hidden tapes and Markle receipts were trending worldwide. According to online speculation, Thomas Jr. isn't bluffing. He's hinted at voice messages, photos, and private exchanges that could expose how Meghan allegedly rewrote her past before joining the royal ranks. Nothing verified, yet the mystery alone is fueling obsession. Every gossip blog wants the files. Every podcast wants the interview.
Listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf tournament. She was one of my Deal or No Deal girls that were, she was a caddy for all of my celebrities.
The rumor mill claims the so-called proof doesn't just involve Meghan's family drama, but details from her early Hollywood years, the kind of footage her team would pay anything to erase. Thomas Jr. remains cryptic, promising he'll share the truth when the time is right. Critics call it blackmail. Supporters say it's justice. Either way, the anticipation is priceless. The world is waiting for a glimpse behind the royal mask. If these recordings ever surface, they won't just shake Meghan's image. They'll challenge everything the palace worked to protect. Because in the digital age, one leaked file can destroy an empire. And if Thomas Jr. really holds the receipts he claims to have, the next headline might not be about a duchess, but a downfall.
You're only putting out all this PR shit to boost your public image.
It's the worst crisis PR scenario that her team could ever imagine.
The moment whispers about hidden tapes hit the internet, Meghan's PR machine went into overdrive. Her reps didn't issue denials. They went silent, which only made people talk louder. Then, like clockwork, a wave of polished articles appeared across lifestyle magazines, quietly painting her as a misunderstood woman just trying to live in peace. Classic crisis playbook. According to media insiders, Meghan's team is known for its surgical precision. Redirect the narrative, soften the headlines, shift the focus. It's how every controversy turns into a misunderstood Duchess headline by Monday morning.
There is absolutely zero doubt in my mind. Rachel Meghan Markle was a semi-expensive yacht girl, and she knows it.
But this time, the cracks are showing. Too many stories, too much noise, and a public that no longer buys the fairy dust. Thomas Jr., of course, saw right through it. They can spin it however they want, he said, but silence speaks louder than spin. His comments hit a nerve. Fans noticed how fast Meghan's allies came to her defense, while the royals stayed eerily quiet. Behind the scenes, experts say the palace's patience is thinning. Each new scandal drags the monarchy's reputation further into the mud, and insiders hint they're ready to cut ties completely. This isn't just a family feud anymore. It's a full-scale image war. Meghan's brand versus the crown's tradition, both desperate to control the final chapter.
You're a lying scumbag piece of shit who doesn't deserve anything except for what you're getting right now in the press. And I will protect my dad with my life.
But as Thomas Jr. teases one more revelation, the question isn't who's lying, it's who's about to lose everything first. Just when it seemed like everyone had turned against her, an unexpected voice stepped into the chaos, and it wasn't from the palace. A former friend of Meghan's, someone who claimed to know her long before the fame, suddenly spoke up. Their message? She's not the monster they're making her out to be. The internet froze. For the first time, someone wasn't attacking Meghan. They were defending her. This ex-colleague, reportedly from her early acting days, insisted that Meghan's ambition was being twisted into villainy.
They can all go suck and flying monkeys. also. But how disgusting and pathetic my father's daughter is, because the entire world knows that she is at the bottom of the barrel for God knows how long, because everybody knows who she is as a person.
They described her as driven, clever, and desperate to escape a toxic environment. To them, the so-called yacht rumors and family betrayals were nothing more than distorted revenge stories. It was a shocking twist in a narrative built on outrage. Even Thomas Jr. seemed caught off guard. While he stood by his claims, he admitted maybe she changed because she had to. A rare flash of empathy from a brother known for fire, not forgiveness. The allies' defense created a split online. Half the audience doubling down on skepticism, the other half wondering if the media storm had gone too far.
Meghan Markle did know Prince Andrew, and she knew Sarah incredibly well, which makes Zara a liar, because she said, I didn't know Meghan Markle until she invited me to her wedding. That is BS.
Suddenly, Meghan wasn't just a villain or a victim. She was both, depending on who you believed. And just as the conversation began to shift, Thomas Jr. hinted there was one final secret, one that would make every defense crumble in seconds. Because according to him, the truth hadn't even started to hurt yet. As the dust settled from Meghan's brief defense, Thomas Jr. returned with one last strike, a message that felt less like anger and more like a promise. This isn't revenge, he said in his closing statement. It's a warning. His tone was calm, but the words landed like thunder. He hinted that everything seen so far, the interviews, the rumors, the receipts, was just the surface of what's really coming.
And here we have Andrew, with whom looks like Marcus Anderson. This is in 2001, when Meghan Markle would have allegedly been on third year. Meghan Markle hardly spent any time at Northwestern University.
Sources close to the family claim Thomas Jr. is preparing a tell-all project, something detailed, documented, and impossible to ignore. Not another interview, but a record meant to set history straight. He allegedly wants the world to see what fame cost their family, piece by painful piece. Online, anticipation is boiling. Fans call it the Markle reckoning, while critics call it another desperate cash grab. But one thing's certain, if he releases what he claims to have, the royal brand may face its biggest public meltdown yet. Even Meghan's defenders seem uneasy, sensing that something bigger is brewing behind the scenes.
A man called Kevin Blatt. Now, he is a celebrity tape broker, ladies, where he describes a 2018 call from a woman claiming to possess a 4-year-old tape of a Meghan who is about to marry a prince.
Her name is Meghan, and she's about to marry a prince in England.
No, what?
Yeah, this story's not true, too. It is true. I believe this is Meghan.
The palace has reportedly gone into silent lockdown, preparing for damage control in case the next bombshell lands. Thomas Jr. ended his message with a chilling line that now echoes across the internet. I'm not trying to destroy her. I'm reminding her of what she destroyed. And if that's just the prelude, the finale could rewrite royal history forever. In the end, what began as a royal fairy tale now feels more like a cautionary tale, one about ambition, silence, and the cost of rewriting your own story. Meghan built an empire on image, but every image has a shadow, and right now hers is growing larger than the crown she once wore. Thomas Jr.'s final words still hang heavy. Fame doesn't change people, it exposes them. Maybe that's the real tragedy here. Not just the lost family ties, but the mirror fame holds up for everyone who dares to chase perfection. But if you think this is where the drama ends, think again. Because just days ago, Meghan found herself in the spotlight once more, this time on a live stage, facing brutal truths she couldn't control. A certain outspoken commentator took that moment to call her out publicly for bending her own story. And let's just say the exchange left the audience gasping. If you missed that shocking onstage moment, the one where every word from Meghan's mouth turned into a viral storm, we broke it down in our previous upload. You'll want to see how that confrontation unfolded before this latest family bombshell. This is Star Spotlight, where truth meets turbulence and every story burns brighter before it fades. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because the next royal revelation is already on its way. This video reflects a narrative shaped by public conversation.